Now, just because Rachel Zegler can't actually be out there on the interview stroll doesn't mean that she can't torpedo another franchise. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe it. This girl is Hollywood poison. Check this out. Hunger Games, Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes. Whatever, man. Like, okay, you take a look at the picture. I guess that's a screenshot from the film. It looks like, okay, like Hunger Games, I don't know anything about it, okay? All I know is that it's a young adult novel that ended up getting turned into a 3 or 4 part franchise that nobody really remembers from the early 2000s, except for Jennifer Lawrence, who we're going to be talking about here again. You know, the first female in an action film. Oh my god, she's so blitheringly stupid. She was kind of like Rachel Zegler 1.0, just with better tits, about equivalent talent. But the aesthetic of Hunger Games, maybe that's why it didn't have any lasting cultural appeal. Like, it came and went, kind of like an Avatar film. Because that looks like if, you know, the Galactic Empire from Star Wars ended up holding and hosting a prom or a homecoming. Like, what the fuck are these people wearing? You got dudes in skirts and random military personnel and some chick who skinned a peacock to get a dress. Like, what the hell are we doing, man? Like, this, it looks cliched and generic at the same time. Like, is this supposed to drive people back to the theaters? I don't know, but the character that Rachel Zegler is going to be playing is apparently Lucy Gray Baird. Okay, is the opposite of Katniss Everdeen. Okay, for anybody who watched the films, what are the defining characteristics of Katniss Everdeen? She has a bow, I think. Strong, independent boss babe. She did this thing with her fingers, I think. Like, I don't, like I said, I've never seen the films and never had the intention of ever checking them out. I just don't know what the overall societal impact is, because nobody talks about them. They came and went like a fart in the wind. But yes, oh no, guys, we're just going to go ahead and try to dig for nostalgia for something that's not even old enough to have nostalgia associated with it. Okay, so yes, Katniss Everdeen, and says director Francis Lawrence, she's a performer, exclusive image. Well, there it is right there. And it looks like Rachel's kind of acting. I don't know. She kind of looks like she's either nauseous, upset, anxious. She's good at her job. Ready to head back to Panem? I've never been, but okay. 8 years after the last installment. Really? And you couldn't even spell installment correctly. Graced the big screen. Mockingjay Part 2 in 2015. Wow. Okay, that was more recent than I thought. Jesus Christ, these films were forgettable. And the brand new Hunger Games movie is on the way. Oh boy. This one is based on Suzanne Collins' prequel novel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Oh, fantastic. The last time that you had, and this isn't even a fair comparison, but you had a very successful franchise come back with a prequel. Well, it just ended up dying at the box office, so I don't anticipate this being any different, but all right. You think that you're going to strike gold again? Well, anticipate striking lead. Nah, I joke. Lead's actually valuable. The new story focuses on the dictator who was enforcing those brutal Hunger Games. Okay. President Snow, I don't know, Cornelius, whatever, played by Donald Sutherland. Okay, that I can appreciate. I like Donald Sutherland. Not just because of the name. Anyways. And now by Tom Blythe. Oh man, so you took the star power and you removed it from this? Who the fuck's gonna go see this monstrosity? Back to when he was a young man in the Capitol. Fantastic. This is what's so stupid about prequels. We all know where it all ends up, for fuck's sakes. Like, where's the tension? The franchise, both in book and movie form, was a huge success. Yeah, is that why people still talk about it? Like, what were the box office numbers? Whenever we take a look at most successful films, I don't ever see a Hunger Games film, but okay, whatever. It was a different time, I guess. But returning director Francis Lawrence, who helmed sequels Catching Fire, unironically, I thought that was a Twilight film. Those have a bigger cultural relevance in today's day and age because they still get mocked. Hunger Games just gets overlooked. Still a big concern at the front of his mind into the prequel. Will people go to see a new Hunger Games movie? No. And then you have Rachel Zegler over top of this? No. Without Katniss? Oh, yeah, you know, just like, how is anybody going to play a video game without a strong, independent woman with a bow? That's why we need to have it and everything. He asked Empire. speaking to us exclusively of our brand new Dune 2-part issue. Whatever, man, I don't really care. Dune, I hear people like it, and I hear it's pretty decently made. I'm never going to see it. It's a good question, but one new film has an answer for, enter Rachel Zegler's Lucy Gray Baird, a tribute from District 12. This is all not at all familiar with me. If it resonates with you, fantastic. You're going to be despising this. Chosen to compete in the 10th annual Hunger Games. Oh, okay. And to whom young Snow is assigned as a mentor. Who's Snow? She is the anti-Katniss, as Lawrence puts it. Oh, okay, cool. Katniss was an introvert and a survivor. Okay, so Rachel's just going to end up playing herself. She's just going to be an insufferable loudmouth, and after her flash in the pan, she's just going to end up being resigned to the dustbin of history. Okay. She says she was quite quiet and stoic, and you can almost say she was asexual. This is a young adult novel series. Okay, these were films that appealed to late teens, early 20s. Why are you talking about sex, you fucking weirdos? Okay, she said. Lucy Gray is the opposite. She wears her sexuality on her sleeve. Exactly what you need about something that involves, I don't even know what the Hunger Games are. All I know, I think there's fights, there's some action scenes. That's what we need. Some little wafy chick that weighs 95 pounds, soaking wet, talking about how different events get her soaking wet. What the fuck are we doing here? This is why Hollywood's in the shitter. I'm sure this could have been a wonderful concept, but if you're talking about rubbing vages together in order to try to sell an action-adventure film, and you think by just putting women in front, see, girls, you could see yourself in a lead role. That means you'll turn out to the theaters, right? No, shit like that doesn't work. You want to have your representation films and attract women to the theaters? Fucking do a Barbie, okay? That was 70% women that turned out to that horse shit. Whenever they try to force a female message into an action-adventure film, or an action-adventure series, it always fucking fails. You just end up leaving money on the table because it's not believable, okay? Jennifer Lawrence, you could kind of make her look sort of intimidating. She had at least a bit of screen presence, and she looked like she might be able to fight somebody of her similar size or something like that. But Rachel Zegler is a fucking tiny individual. And what, if she gets caught by some guards or somebody else, or what is she going to end up doing to try to get herself out of the situation? Suck everybody off? What the fuck are we doing? Where Katniss was reluctant to face to the rebellion, who had to be forced to put on a smile on the camera and keep her fake-turned-real love story with Peta. Oh my Christ, this sounds so fucking gay. I don't even care, man. But everybody's focusing in on this little line right here. Katniss was an introvert and a survivor. She was quiet and stoic, and you could almost say that she was asexual. Lucy Gray is the opposite. Her sexuality is on her sleeve. And that has ruffled the feathers of the very few fans that are out there. Like I said, man, Rachel Zegler is fucking poison. Oh, she's going to kill Snow White, and she's going to kill any hopes for this prequel series. You'll love to see it. The Hunger Games director Francis Lawrence faces fury from fans after calling Jennifer Lawrence's character Katniss Everdeen asexual while comparing her to Rachel Zegler's role in the upcoming prequel movie. That just lets you know, okay, for all the dumb shit that Jennifer Lawrence has said, and I've done a couple of videos on the fucking inane babble that falls out of that post-wall bitch's mouth, but people like her more than your new hand-picked starlet. Shit sucks, yo. Hunger Games director Francis Lawrence found himself on the receiving end, of some bitter backlash from fans after describing Jennifer Lawrence's character in the hit trilogy as asexual. It was a hit. Okay, so there was a first one, then there was that Catching Fire, and then there was the Mockingjay that was split into two parts. I ain't no rocket surgeon, but that seems like 4 films. Just saying. Lawrence, 52, made the odd observation about Hunger Games protagonist Katniss Everdeen while discussing the differences between her and the leading lady in the upcoming prequel. We already talked about all that stuff. Fans of the popular dystopian franchise, were quick to take aim at Lawrence's view of Katniss, slamming him for calling attention to the sexuality, particularly given the fact that she is 16 years old at the start of the series and living in a dystopia. Yeah, okay, so if that's the proper framing, like I said, I have no fucking idea what the series is about at all. And yeah, you take a look at her in that scene right there, Yeah, in on and around the time that these films were coming out, Tomb Raider was coming back with a reboot. Okay, it was all the craze to have your protagonist, at least in video games, with a fucking bow. She had a bow. That's mostly why I kind of gave up on video games, because they haven't really got out of that fucking rut that they set themselves in. Oh, look, we got a female protagonist. Oh, fantastic. Tell me more about Nikocado, Avocado, and fucking Horizon Zero Dawn. Nobody gives a shit, bro. Fucking make films and video games that people actually want to play instead of begrudgingly play. For every God of War that's out there, you gotta trek through how many different live service games? I digress. But yeah, like I said before, you know, even with her gigantic earlobes, you see that shit? That's kind of fucking weird. Jennifer Lawrence kind of looks like a warrior, kind of looks like a fighter. Okay, I'm being incredibly generous with those descriptions, but she looks like she might have the capacity to fuck some shit up, especially if she has a projectile and all that stuff. But like I said before, man, you know, this little bitch right here, she ain't doing fuck all. It's outside of just going, oh my God, I will kill myself instead of listening to you. Like, just fuck off. Maybe that's what she's going to do. She's just going to nag people into suicide. That would be fun. Not the whole suicide thing. That's very tragic, I guess. I don't think Katniss was asexual. Katniss was a 16-year-old living in a dystopia that regularly sent kids to slaughter for sport. She sort of spent 3 entire books grappling with that fact. Yeah, no, that's fair. So again, you're trying to at least have a sexual lens when you view the character that is supposed to be underage. What are you? Trying to do a Roman Polanski impression? Another road, Katniss was a traumatized teen used as a pawn in killing game and entertainment of a higher society, and in the revolution by the good guys. She didn't have much time or choice to express herself. Asexual, Katniss was in a raffle where they put you out to be slaughtered and had a 1 in 12 chance of survival. You see how consistently these people, I guess they're fans of the series, use slaughter over and over again? Seems like a really well-written book. They added not once but twice, while being a pawn in a political war. She was on the edge of death's door in 3 novels, getting, oh my God, that sounds like fucking ass cancer. But yeah, man, in order to prop up Rachel Zegler, okay, the guy who's directing this shit, I'm sure, given the fact that, I think this is Warner Brothers or something like that, he probably didn't have all that much say when it came to casting. It was just, yeah, I guess we'll just go with this one. And in order to make her, because they could say, yeah, man, we got this great script, and I think that Rachel's really going to knock it out of the park. I've seen some of her previous experience, some of her previous work on film, and I think that those experiences could really add to this character. Instead, they went, no, man, she likes to fuck, I think. It'd be great. It's going to be a good story. Please come check this shit out. She is fucking cancer to any production that she's going to be a part of. We've seen it completely with Snow White, with her own words, and now, well, anything that she touches, man, not like that. Anything that she's associated with at this point in time is just a death. You hate to see it, but you do love to cover it because this shit is funny. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.